Okay, so welcome to the channel. First video officially on the channel. Been the pen turner for quite a while now, and I've decided instead of always buying blanks, I'm going to start trying to make some myself and casting. So what I went ahead and I've done to start with, I'm starting with a simple epoxy resin that's, from what I'm told, is very forgiving. It's Royal Palm Resin from Jason Burr. Ships it right out of Florida, comes really quick. It's a two-part epoxy, mixes 1:1 by volume. So you can definitely go ahead and check him out. I'll have a link below for his site. All of his other products as well, including the Maneater pigments. From what I'm told, they're on par with Casting Craft as well. So I've got some of those here to go with. And what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through my very first ever pour. Never poured an epoxy resin before. Sure as heck has never mixed one to cast. I've got a pressure pot I'm going to put it in. But when I'm told with epoxy it's not needed because it's a very slow setting epoxy. I've got about a 1 hour open time. Probably a little bit more than that today because it's slightly chilled in my shop. And then it's got about a 24-hour cure time where you can just let it air out and cure. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in the pot and just put it under pressure. Just because I do plan on casting with Aluminite and some liquid diamonds down the road. So I wanted to go ahead and get used to that whole process at the same time. And I've got a mold. I've got it behind me warming up in front of my heater. It's a regular regular HDPE mold. Just a simple mold. This one's slightly smaller. My bandsaw did not want to work with me. I want to say this is 5 1/4 by 5 by just about an inch deep, and it holds exactly 12 ounces of liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and this is a mold I'm going to be pouring into today. So I've got to mix up just about 12 ounces of resin. And me, I have a saying, it's go big or go home. So what I'm going to be doing today, we're going to do a antique gold. There's a little blue that I've got that I picked up. This one came in the set. I added it on Amazon just to get free shipping on another order. So it's a little bit of a darker blue. I'm going to put that in with a little bit of macro pearl from PearlEx. And then the third color is going to be this Dura Blue from PearlEx as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed up and take it from there and see how she goes. So the first thing I've got to do is, since I know I've got a 12-ounce mold, I basically have to get 4 ounces of each in each one. So it's going to be 2 of A, 2 of B in each one. Now Jason had said he normally just mixes it all together first and then separates it. But that 12-ounce mark brings me right up to the top lip on this, and that doesn't give me, really a lot to be mixing without spilling it all over the place. So I figure I'm going to split it, and maybe what I'll actually do, I'll just do 2 6s. That'll be a little bit easier to measure, and then I'll separate back out into the third. But as always, safety comes first with this, since it is an epoxy, and we are using, there are some caustic chemicals possibly in there. I'm going to go ahead and use the gloves. So one, I'm not wearing epoxy all over me because that always makes for a bad day in the shop. And two, this makes it a little bit safer in the long run as well. I know how to put on a glove. Trust me, I really do. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with my part A. We're going to go ahead and put 3 ounces in here. I can't really read. There's my 3. There's 3 ounces of A there. It's really thick because it's kind of chilly in the shop, and I had this in the house. I'm thinking maybe I should have warmed this up a little bit first. wipe that off. One thing to always have handy in your shop is paper towels galore. If you think you have enough, find more. Okay, so there's part A. Double check I'm at 3. Yes, I'm at 3 there. Just under 3, so a little bit of extra B won't kill. And then now we're going to bring that up to a total. Oh, that's only 2 ounces in that one. It's only 2 ounces in that one. My eyes don't get old, people. And you see, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't do this all the time, so I'm just me. You know, some people may find it humorous, some people may not, but I am who I am, so there'll be some humor on the channel as well. Okay, there's 3 in that one now. And 3 in that one. Again, clean this up because this stuff's really thick. I really probably should have warmed this up a little bit. One tip that I do know that Jason told me, you can warm this up by putting it in a double boiler in a hot water bath, or just keeping it warm in the first place is another option to go with. But, alright, I'm going to see how this really works out for us. I'm not expecting much off of this first time doing it, but I figured bring everybody along for the ride as well. Alright, so there. Now we've got 3 and 3. So now we bring this up to 6. There's 6. You can see how it's sitting right on top of each other there, hopefully, because I haven't mixed it yet. Once I start mixing it, the timer starts. And there's 6. Okay, like I said, with this, I've got about an hour of working time with it. But in my shop, it's kind of cold, so I think I'm going to have actually a little bit longer in that hour. But now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get both of these mixed up, and then I'm going to separate them back off and add my color. Yeah, mine's really thick, so I think I probably should have warmed this up. Get it mixed up really good here. Make sure when you're doing that, you're scraping the sides and the bottom. And with resin, you can never over mix it. I'm getting a lot of air in here, but that I'm not too worried about for my first cast because this is a long setting. I have a long open time on this one, so It's mixing and mixing and making sure it's mixed. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm going to separate this off just a little bit. Because what I want is I want about 4 ounces in each cup. 3, 4. Gives me 7.5, and I'm a little bit short on my pour, but I'm going to have to live with that. Okay. All right, there we go. So now let me start with the antique gold. And then the blue. And then the last blue on this one. And this one I'm also going to add a little bit of that pearl to it. This one's a little bit darker blue. Alright, now we mix these up. I'll be scraping the side as well here because you still got that settling. And that's really looking nice. Alright, so now I'm going to set my timer. For 1 hour, and I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to continually throughout that time I am going to stir it just to keep it stirred, make sure it's completely mixed, and throughout it at about the half-hour point I'm going to check our temp and see. Right now we are at 75, and 75. So we've got a ways to go still on that. So go ahead and I'm going to pause the video for this, and then about a half hour we check back in. I'll continue the video. Thank you.